Level 1. The Applicant. You're 19, sitting across from a Navy recruiter in a strip mall office in your hometown. He slides a contract across the desk. It's called a SEAL Challenge contract. It guarantees you the opportunity to try for buds. Nothing more. No guarantees, no shortcuts. You sign it without reading the last page. 8 weeks later, you're at Recruit Training Command, Naval Station, Great Lakes, Illinois. November. The wind off Lake Michigan cuts through your jacket like it has a purpose. Boot camp. 8 weeks of drills, inspections, uniform standards, and physical training. You graduate. You're a sailor now, technically, but you're not done waiting. Your orders stall. You wait. Weeks stretch into months, but some guys go to Naval Special Warfare prep school. 8 more weeks of training built for one purpose. Keep you breathing when buds starts. You train, you wait, you train more. By the time your orders to Coronado actually come through, you're closer to 20 than 19. You've been preparing your body for this for over a year. You're still not ready. Nobody is. Level 2. The Buds Student. You're 20. Basic underwater demolitions training begins at Naval Special Warfare Center in Coronado, California. Your class starts with 240 men, all Navy, some straight from the fleet, gunner's mates, hospital corpsmen, aviation rescue swimmers, men who had already chosen danger once. A few inter-service transfers, Marines, the occasional soldier, men who fought the bureaucracy just to get to the starting line. All of them handpicked. All of them convinced they have what it takes. You watch them quit, one by one. First phase. You wake up at 4:45 a.m. The Pacific is 65 degrees. That sounds manageable. Until you're lying in the surf zone at midnight, shoulder to shoulder, with 7 men, waves crashing over your face, your body shaking so hard, your teeth crack together. The instructor walks the line. He doesn't yell. He speaks calmly. All you have to do is ring the bell. There's a brass bell mounted near the compound entrance. Ring it 3 times and you're out. Warm shower, hot meal, back to the fleet. No shame, no punishment, just out. Hell week. 132 hours of continuous training. Fewer than 4 hours of sleep total. It starts Sunday night. A gun fires, and you pour out of tents into smoke and noise. Flashbangs, concussions. You run into the ocean. The instructors circle with bullhorns. Hot chocolate up here. Coffee. We'll put a jacket on you. Come to the fire. But you don't. By Wednesday, 72 hours in, the hallucinations start. You're paddling your boat around Coronado in the dark, and you're absolutely convinced cyclists are jumping off the bridge into the water. Your teammate screams, "Stop," because he sees spikes that will pop the boat. Someone sees mermaids. You see upside-down Buddhas in the clouds. They give you 1 hour of sleep Wednesday night. Put on music, you fall asleep instantly. Then they wake you with bullhorns and machine guns. You'd rather they'd never let you sleep at all. Thursday, your legs feel broken. You believe that when you take your next step, they'll snap. They don't. A man named Torres, the strongest swimmer in your class, walks to the bell at 2:17 a.m., rings it twice before an instructor stops him. You don't ask why. You already know. The body breaks at the edges. The mind breaks first. Your class started with 240. By Friday, you're 26. You pull your mattress off your bunk and put it on the floor because your body is so destroyed you can't climb into bed. Your hip flexors so knotted you can't stand straight. You gain 15 pounds of swelling. Second phase, closed circuit oxygen rebreathers, compass navigation in zero visibility, combat swimming through kelp forests off San Diego. You learn that panic underwater is a decision. You just don't know you're making it. Well, right then comes pool comp, 15 feet down, full dive gear. You're on your knees, crawling back and forth across the pool floor. The instructors circle above like sharks. You don't know when the attack is coming, but it's coming. They rip the mouthpiece out, beat you underwater, tear off your mask, rip off your weight belt, flip you over. You're on a breath hold now. You can't fight back. You have procedures to recover your equipment. You must execute them in exact order, or you fail. You crawl out of the tank and puke. Then you crawl back in. Next one, next one, next one. Somewhere in that phase, a man from your class doesn't make it back up on his own. They pull him out on the pool deck and work on him in front of everyone. He never regains consciousness. The training continues. Third phase, demolitions, weapons, small unit tactics in the desert outside Nyland, California. 108 degrees, 45-pound pack. By day 3, you've stopped thinking about the weight. You just move. San Clemente Island. Final 4 weeks. You think it's going to get easier now that you've made it this far? It doesn't. They march you into shallow water and tell you to sit, lay back. Then you feel the bites. Sand fleas down your shirt, your neck, your chest, like little bee stings. Nobody warned you, but you don't move. 6 months after you started, you're standing in formation. 240 men became 35. A SEAL TRIDENT is pinned to your chest. The pin is sharp. The instructor presses it in by hand. No backing. It draws blood. That's tradition. You don't flinch. Level 3, the new guy. You're 22. SEAL Team 5, Naval Amphibious Base, Coronado. You're the new guy. Everyone knows it. Nobody lets you forget it. First deployment, Eastern Afghanistan, Kunar Province, 2009. The valleys are deep. The ridge lines are watched. You carry the heaviest gear, worst watch rotations. You set up comms, clean weapons, run logistics. You don't complain. Complaining as a new guy is like bleeding in open water. It attracts the wrong attention. Your first patrol, 11 hours, 12 kilometers through terrain that doesn't believe in flat ground. Your senior chief, a man named Decca, been doing this since before you started high school, doesn't speak to you once during movement. Afterward, he hands you a protein bar. You held your spacing. That's it. 2 words for 11 hours of work. You eat the bar, say nothing. But you understand that in this team, being seen is something you earn over time, not something you demand. 3 months in, your patrol makes contact near a dry riverbed at dusk. 6 minutes of controlled chaos. When it's over, every man is accounted for. You held your position, did your job. Nobody congratulates you. The debrief lasts 2 hours. Every decision examined, every second reconstructed. You fall asleep in your kit that night because you don't have the energy to take it off. Wake up 4 hours later. Start again. Level 4. The operator. You're 26, 3 deployments, Afghanistan, Iraq. An undisclosed location in the Horn of Africa that doesn't appear in any record you'll ever be allowed to read. You're no longer the new guy. Direct action, special reconnaissance, personnel recovery, counterterrorism. You know which tool fits which problem, how fast to switch when the problem changes shape. A mission in Anbar province runs 4 days. You spend 2 of them in observation, watching a target building through a spotting scope from a hide site built in a drainage ditch that smells like everything wrong with the world. You eat cold food. Don't move more than necessary. Control your breathing like it's a resource you're rationing. On night 3, the target moves. The mission adjusts. You adjust with it. There's a moment, just one, when everything is quiet. You're looking up at a sky so clear it feels dishonest. You think about the 19-year-old sitting across from a recruiter, signing something without reading the last page. He had no idea. You close your eyes for 90 seconds. Then you go back to work. Level 5, the lead petty officer. You're 29. You now carry responsibility for the men around you, not just yourself. You manage training schedules, equipment readiness, and the slow work of keeping men from eating each other alive. There's a newer operator on your team, a guy named Reeves. Fast, aggressive, technically sharp. He has the instincts, but not the patience. During a training exercise in Nevada, he pushes forward of his designated sector during a simulated direct action raid. Small breach. Nobody gets hurt. But in the real version of that scenario, it costs lives. You don't yell at him in front of the team. You pull him aside, in the dark, behind a vehicle, speak plainly. He listens, doesn't argue. Next week, he holds his sector perfectly. You understand something now you didn't at 22. Right, strength isn't the point. The point is what you can pass to the man next to you, so that when you're not there, he still holds. Level 6, the chief. You're 33, chief petty officer. You now oversee a full SEAL platoon, 16 men, 2 officers. Operational responsibility for everything that happens when that platoon moves. Your officer is a lieutenant named Marsh. Smart, well-trained, 27 years old. You've been doing this since before he started college. Your job is to make him effective, without letting him know when he almost wasn't. Almost nobody in uniform talks about that honestly. You do it by making him look right when he is, and steering him quietly when he isn't. You don't take credit. You don't need it. A mission in northern Mali goes wrong on insertion. Weather pushed them off course, and the maps were wrong. The compound was twice the size anyone had been told. You adapt the plan in real time, on the ground. 8 minutes of communications darkness. When the team extracts, the mission is a success. The after-action report credits the planning. You know what actually happened. So does your team. They don't need to say it. Neither do you. You've lost track of the deployments, but you can name every man who's still doing this because of something that happened between you and him. Level 7, the senior chief. You're 38, senior chief, petty officer. Fewer than 200 active duty SEALs hold this grade. You are one of them. You're no longer deployed as a frontline operator. You're the institutional memory. I'm the one the younger chiefs call at midnight when nothing in the manual covers what's happening on the ground. A young SEAL named Castillo comes to you after a brutal training evolution. He's questioning whether he's still in the right place. He's not asking you to fix it, just talking. You listen for a long time. Then you tell him about a night in Kunar Province, 2009, when you were 22, exhausted, eating a protein bar in the dark because a senior chief handed it to you without a word. How that was somehow enough. Castillo goes back to work. You don't know if he'll stay or go, but you know he made the decision himself, with full information. That's all you can give anyone. Level 8, the Master Chief. You're 43, Master Chief, Petty Officer, and the highest enlisted grade in the United States Navy. You're stationed at Naval Special Warfare Command in Coronado. You advise senior officers on force readiness, training standards, and the kind of institutional culture questions that shape what the teams will look like in 10 years. You sit in rooms with admirals. You speak plainly. They listen because they know the man in front of them has done the thing they're planning. A proposal comes forward to loosen the BUDS standards. The argument: too many men washing out, too much money spent, not enough bodies coming through. It's a rational argument, built on spreadsheets. You spend 3 weeks preparing a counterbrief, not because you're resistant to change, but because you know something the spreadsheets don't. The standard isn't arbitrary. The standard is the whole point. A man who hasn't been broken by something real will eventually be broken by something real at a moment when other men's lives depend on him not being broken. You think about pool comp, about Torres at the bell at 2:17 a.m., about every man who pushed through surf torture and every man who didn't, about the difference between those who could and those who only thought they could. The proposal dies. You don't take satisfaction in winning the argument. You take satisfaction in protecting something that can't protect itself. Level 9, the commanding officer. You're 47. You accepted a commission years ago, a rare path. SEAL enlisted leaders almost never cross that line. You're now a commander. You lead a Naval Special Warfare Squadron. Operational readiness, strategic deployment, and human welfare of hundreds of people. Not just SEALs. Support personnel, intelligence analysts, logistics specialists, medical staff, people who never earned the TRIDENT, and people without whom no TRIDENT has ever meant a thing. A young intelligence analyst on your staff, 24 years old, named Pham, identifies a pattern your senior officers missed, buried in signals data from 3 separate theater commands. She brings it to you directly, because she isn't sure her supervisor will take it seriously. You take it seriously. You elevate it through the right channels, with her name attached. The pattern proves accurate. The intelligence informs a successful operation. You make sure she gets the credit, in writing. Someone asks you later why you did it. You don't find the question interesting. You did it because an organization that doesn't reward accuracy eventually stops producing it. Level 10, the Rear Admiral. You're 52. 1 star. Rear Admiral, lower half, Commander, Naval Special Warfare Command. You're responsible for all Navy SEAL teams, special boat teams, and supporting units across the globe. Thousands of personnel, dozens of ongoing operations across multiple continents. You brief the Secretary of Defense. Your phone receives calls at 3 a.m. that you cannot describe to anyone outside the room. There is a moment, just one. It happens on an otherwise unremarkable Wednesday. You walk past the brass bell at the entrance to the BUDS compound. You haven't thought about it in years. You stop. You think about Torres ringing it at 2:17 a.m. in the dark. About Decca handing you a protein bar and saying 2 words. About Reeves holding his sector. About Castillo going back to work. About Pham's name on the right report. You think about every man who rang the bell and every man who didn't. And you understand, maybe for the first time clearly, that neither choice was simple. Both choices cost something real. The teams didn't make you hard. They burned off everything that was performance and left only what was real. You walk back to your office. 14 messages waiting. 3 of them urgent. You start with the first one, because that's what you do. You start. You hold your spacing. You pass the strength forward. The work continues.